5 minutes with Sean, maybe 10 on this beautiful 12th of May as we get after it here. Hopefully, May is still rocking and rolling. You know, the industry is always up against something, my friends, and we always do a great job. Find me an industry that pivots as well as this one. I will double down. This one's still the best. All right. So today I saw a post a while back happening on LinkedIn, which is where I hang out, obviously socially, and it was about the fact that social doesn't sell cars. And as someone who has a social arm to their business, it really got me thinking that I agree. No marketing technically sells cars. Salespeople and sales managers sell cars. Technically, right? I've always believed that. I've never believed in attribution, so I don't believe in the direct. Now, will I say that I haven't not seen comments on a post about a vehicle, about a customer that bought a car? Of course I did. So social doesn't sell cars. Well, if social doesn't sell cars, Google doesn't sell cars, OTT doesn't sell cars, billboards don't sell cars, radio doesn't sell cars, right? So what I think fails to get seen by people, because we just want to, use headlines like "things don't sell things" and get attention, is that at the end of the day, social media is an integral part, a localized part of your marketing strategy as a whole. It's about being there when someone is looking. It's about being there when someone is in a situation and they think about you. Branding is what's there. Now, that the amount of doom scrolling this country does, is it hard to be noticed? Sure. You have to come up with cool shit? Sure. But once they go from there to your website, you can have them in your web, right? You can retarget them. You can keep them there. You can continue to see if that person ends up further down the funnel. But what social does that I really have gotten behind in the last 4 or 5 years since we really got into this part of the business, is to see the amount of money that can be spent on paid social without even as so much of a thought, as opposed to what would be dedicated or committed to organic social. So if we use the guise of social doesn't sell cars, then we assume that means AIA paid social does not sell cars, right? Obviously, if organic for your brand doesn't sell cars, paid doesn't. So if those guys aren't selling cars with the budgets they have, and organic isn't worth it, then why are we here, right? We're here because AIA and organic posting is part of a well-rounded strategy. Now, I've always said it twice already because I think it's important that you understand, both from a general manager perspective as well as the marketing people perspective, that expectations are most important. Do we want a bunch of likes? Sure. Do we want to go viral? I guess so. I think most dealers will tell you they're not ready to go viral. When that shit happens, it kind of breaks. But I can also tell you that social does sell cars in a different way. We had a client a while back use a social influencer to talk about a crazy $30 a month leaf payment. Got out there, got the message out, and the website exploded. So I would challenge you again to say that social media doesn't sell cars. Offers sell cars. Opportunities sell cars. Social media is a great localized place to be there. Absolutely. And I say it for any brand, mainstream or luxury. I don't care. We're even doing social for custom truck companies. It doesn't make a difference. Yeah, they'll get more attention. They'll get more eyeballs. But you know what they'll get? They'll get inquiries through their DMs. Sells cars. I've seen them. I work them. But this is over a long time. This isn't like you start posting organic social tomorrow and then Friday you have leads. Absolutely not. It takes time to cultivate. It takes a lot of time to cultivate. And I've made this sort of analogy before, but organic social and paid social are to your brand what paid search and organic search from Google are to your website. And so you have to have a strong foundation of organic for page relevancy of paid search with Google. That's a known. That's not necessarily the case over here, but the connection of the two, I think, are crucial. I think it's crucial for people to have seen an AIA ad and then maybe be seeing just a piece of content. And now, if you're working with the right agencies, they can take your content of organic and then put it in the paid ads, thus taking the message everywhere with it. And so when I see that it doesn't sell cars, it reminds me that we have to be a little bit more diligent into how and what we expect of selling cars. Because I think the opportunities are there. And I don't look, there's not like you're not going to sell 10 cars a month off your DMs. That's not what we're talking about. I'm talking about incremental business. I'm talking about, again, one more source. You guys, when I started in the car business, we had like a bunch of lead providers that were all like pay per lead providers that we all did hands down without thinking. 20, 25, $30 a lead, $500, $600, $700 a sale. These are all formats. The truest attribution, though, still happens at a sales floor level. And so to back this point all the way up is that if you aren't working your comments, if you're not working your DMs, don't make excuses about what sells cars and what doesn't. Because this is here, man. It's a part of the marketing mix. Everything together should create the activity in the marketing world that translates to selling cars. Activity breeds activity. So if you see it somewhere, if you see it's going well somewhere in social, paid, organic, or otherwise, get into it and focus on being involved on one platform, get it down, do another. There's a lot of opportunities for organic social media. There's a lot of different strategies for organic social media. And it is definitely a part of the influence sales journey. There are too many studies that show us that we go to social media before we buy cars. Now, again, I've said this on the show. I am not a car consumer. I have been in the industry 25 years. I do not buy a car like you buy a car. I just don't. It does not. There is no journey. There is none of that. It does not happen that way. So the only way I can see the journey is through the data, and the data that I've been studying now for almost 20 years. The activity is what you are after. It is not direct attribution. It is not one-to-one. It is simply, are we spending our money? Are we getting return of users? Are we getting return of leads? Do we know our cost per sale? Do we know our cost per lead? Do we know our cost per VDP? That is what we're working towards. And then when you factor in organic social and you say, holy cow, I got all these impressions or eyeballs. And what? Meta goes away from impressions. Who gives a shit? Good for them. I don't care. We're still going to see clicks. We're still going to see views. And it's still about the number of eyeballs. Sales is a numbers game. You've got to stay after it. And organic social is an absolutely phenomenal place to do it. All right. That is my take on all things organic selling cars or social in general selling cars. What do you think? Let's talk about it. Thank you guys so much. Have yourselves a wonderful rest of your week. And we're going to do it all again next week. We'll see you then.